Hello there my fellow holotable heroes, and welcome to another Rise of the Empire Territory Battles video. So in this one I'm continuing on to making good progress into the Sector 5 planets. I've already done Vandor here in Sector 5, so up next we got the light side one, which is the Ring of Kafrene, or as I like to say, the Ring of Kafrene. I don't know, just sounds Italian, I don't know why, you tell me. Anyway, as always, if you want to skip ahead, there will be YouTube chapters below if you want to skip to a particular mission. Otherwise, we'll first kick off with a review of the modifiers and operation bonuses, and then what missions, what bosses we'll be facing, and then we'll hit the battles. But before we begin, let me give a huge shout out to DK Sphinx for again providing footage from his account. So he provided me with the footage with Ahsoka, Tarpal Omicron, and as well Cassian Omicron here on this planet. So you will see when the video is slightly different format. That's the footage from him. So again, thanks so much for helping me out. Alright, so let's have a look at the operation bonuses. Now, they are quite powerful. Now, they will apply to the enemies, so you will definitely want to have this disabled, or at least at minimum it feels like you will want to have 4 operations filled in, because if you have no operations filled in, at the start of the encounter, all of your guys will get stunned for 1 turn and other debuffs. But man, mass stun for your team, not a good way to start a battle, right? Now, if you fill in 2 operations, this will get changed. Either 3 of your guys will get stunned, and then finally, obviously, if you fill out 4, only 1. But even that, if it's like some of the battles, like if the wrong person gets stunned, you could be in trouble. But yeah. At minimum, you want to have 4 operations, I think, here filled in before you attempt any missions, but ideally all 6, because definitely very powerful bonuses for the enemy. Now, in terms of the modifiers for the mission, it's not really that impactful, I think. Let me just show it to you what we're talking about. It's got a whole informant mechanic. So a random enemy will get informant buff on them, and then whenever you defeat them, you will gain 50% armor penetration, 20 and critical chance, 25% critical damage, 20 speeds. Not as powerful as it could have been, really, to be honest. I don't even pay attention to it. I just go about my business and doing the battles. Now, of course, the other modifier for the enemy is very powerful. You're familiar already with this one. Does a lot of things, but most annoyingly, whenever they use special ability, they call all of their allies to assist. And then also every time they use special ability, they increase their damage by 10%, which, you know, if the battle goes on, these guys start hitting really hard. And if that is not enough, we get an annoying Imperial Probe Droid constantly summoning, exploding in your face and taunting and things like that. So definitely an annoying modifier here to work against, if you ask me. Alright, so now in terms of the missions themselves, we do have here the mission that requires you to have a Relic 9 Cassian and a Relic 9 K2. I guess a couple of different ways to approach it. If you do have Omicron on Cassian, you can go with the Raddus lead, so this will be the footage from DK Sphinx. It looked pretty straightforward, but you know, they do have Gene at Relic 9, which helps with the revives and everything, and the whole Raddus Gene cheese. Otherwise, personally, I've been doing Leia. Yeah, not the cleanest battle, but it kind of sort of works. So that's the Cassian mission, and then moving on to the top left one. This one is probably like the easiest mission. You're up against 2 wave of Mob Enforcer and was it Pirates or something. They don't hit hard, you know, even like just Bo-Katan team without Omicrons can beat it easily on autoplay. Then we also have Ahsoka footage, obviously can do that as well. I've tested Queen Amidala, so pretty much almost it feels like anything you've got at Relic 9 here should be able to be this mission. So this is really the easiest one. The other 2 are a lot more difficult. So the middle one right here is versus Troopers. For this one, I'm using usually Jedi Master Kenobi to complete some sort of team, whatever you got at Relic 9. Obviously, you will have both Ahsokas, right? Most likely, because they're needed to unlock Galactic Legend Ahsoka. Then, you know, also Plo is needed at Relic 8 for Ahsoka, I believe, right? And then Kenobi is needed at Relic 8 for something, I think. Yeah. So just kind of bumping a couple of more relic levels on these 2 guys, and you've got yourself a team, I guess. But again, not the cleanest battle, as you will see, but I do make it work. And then the bottom one here is versus Mara, so very similar like the Trooper one. It's quite challenging. Now I had a play around. It seems like Jedi Knight Luke is the better lead, at least from my testing, than Jedi Master Luke, just because of the speed reduction, because the enemy is really fast. And then of course we do have the Gungan Tarpal Omicron there, provided by DK Sphinx. So that's kind of it. Like missions, again, aside from Mob Enforcer here, are difficult. Same thing for Fleet. Like, you know, really the only reliable thing is Profundity, but I will also show you at the end of the video Raddus. It's got a shot, like for me, I have about like 1 out of 3 win rate. So, you know, if you do put Profundity into operations, at least Raddus can give you a fighting chance to complete the Fleet mission. Okay, so let's start off with a battle. Just gonna kick off with a Cassian, do first my Leia battle. Not sure if this is the most optimal Leia team. Maybe having Drogan instead of Raddus would help in the first wave, you know, with the stuns and the extra damage and healing. But yeah, we're just gonna start off. We're gonna put Rex under stealth so he doesn't get taken out, because I need him for his days, because otherwise these guys, look at us, they're just assisting constantly. Very annoying. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, let's just go ahead, I guess, cleanse the team. Let's go ahead and do that. K2 not gonna last much longer here. Let's go ahead, get that AoE days out with Captain Rex, and then we're just gonna go ahead and try to take Death Trooper out. Alright, let's get more debuffs out. As you can see, Cassian, without his Omicron, not really contributing to this battle at all. Like, at least K2, you know, took a few hits for us, so that Leia can now carry the torch for the rest of the battle, hopefully. Yeah, we go. We almost got Death Trooper down. Okay, death mark on Leia. Luckily, she doesn't mind the death mark, but like if I would have Drogan probably here instead of Raddus, Death Trooper would have been dead by then already. So maybe once I bring Drogan, if I do bring Drogan from Relic 8 to Relic 9s, you can see Leia there barely hanging in there. All the battles are like this, Leia barely hanging in there. That's why I thought that maybe having Drogan instead of Raddus could be better, just for some healing and extra damage. He's got stuns on his basic, right? But yeah, I'm just trying to, you know, do with minimum resources possible, because Relic 9s are kind of rare still because of droid brains. Anyway, I'm gonna line up the ultimate, defeated a couple of troopers, which revived K2 for me. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the second wave. So for the most part, this is the challenging bit, wave 1. Wave 2, the only challenging bit, I guess, is they've got 30 revives shared amongst them. While in wave 1, I guess Drogan could be nicer than Raddus. Here, Raddus actually is good with his Spark of Rebellion, right, that he puts on K2 and Cassian himself, and then whenever you defeat somebody, then they don't get revived. The Empire enemies, that is, they don't get revived. So if you wouldn't have this anti-revive here, you know, your enemies would eventually stack up damage from their modifier. But I guess between Drogan and Rex, stuns, dazes, and things like that, probably could keep these guys under control. So definitely let me know, did anybody try this like with a different comp, having Drogan in there? I like to have Captain Rex just because of the opening sequence is very ugly, and then you need the days to lock in. So if I were to be able to change anything here, is use Drogan maybe instead of Raddus. However, here you will see it'll come into play, the anti-revive that we have. There we go. All right, cool. Let's see if we can line up a hit. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that Spark of Rebellion going. All right, let's throw some debuffs. There we go. As you can see, we prevent the device there because of Spark of Rebellion. So I guess Raddus does help here in the second wave, but I don't know. It feels like Drogan would do a better job, I think. But anyway, I'm just going to speed up the footage here because it's going to take a while that we line up the hits and things like that. Another ultimate. I don't know. I mean, preventing revives is nice, but at the same time, as you can see, we're only down to like 15 stacks. So I think, yeah, definitely Drogan over Raddus in this one if you don't have Omicron and Cassian. That would be, I think, my preferred choice. Alright, speaking of Cassian Omicron, here's the gameplay from DK Sphinx. So You need Scarif Pathfinder for Sector 6 mission anyway, so that's, you know, just normal to bring him to Relic 9 as well to complete your Raddus squad. And then Jin at Relic 9, okay. But as you can see, she'll be very valuable here for you because she can keep reviving your guys. And Pathfinder as well can revive himself if he has buffs. Now having obviously Omicron Cassian helps out a lot because he's doing a lot of things in the background, but most importantly, he's got a death mark once you defeat somebody to speed up the whole process. He also got an AoE spell, so even though he's like disguised in a Magma Trooper uniform, he's actually more like a Death Trooper's kit if you ask me. But yeah, there we go. We lost, looks like K2 again. So it definitely seems like this mission was kind of designed more with Cassian's Omicron in mind, but if you don't want to put Omicrons you know, on territory battle units, like I as well try not to if I don't need to, then, you know, I guess Leia is your other option here. Yeah, alright, here we go. Death mark helping us there. I'm just gonna speed up the footage now, because once you got these guys down, obviously things become a lot easier. Okay, let's get Spark of Rebellion going. Definitely want to hold on to the ultimate for the next wave, so you can immediately disable their protection right at the start. Definitely don't want to use it in wave 1. We're gonna open up here, I guess, with the Raddus's ultimate eventually, I would imagine. Let's go ahead and check it out. Yep, let's go ahead, knock this out. Boom, there we go, their protection's disabled. Now we just have to get Spark of Rebellion on our guys, and then we'll be able to prevent revives for the Empire enemies, which all of them are Empire in this particular case. Alright, okay, let's just go. Yep. Now stuck behind the taunt from Probe Droid, that's the annoying bit in these missions. But here we go, we gotta buff this spell, so let's go ahead and get around the taunt, and we'll just keep going after Stormtrooper Commando, right? He's got a heal and everything. The other guys are just regular Stormtroopers, so, you know, they don't do as much damage, they're just very tanky. But, you know, we should be able to prevent revives here. Let's go ahead. Probe Droid again exploding. Things are getting a little bit dicey here, but luckily they don't have as much damage without Death Trooper in there. There we go, started prevent revives, get a death mark as well, preventing obviously revives. So yeah, as you can see, Admiral Raddus a lot cleaner than Leia, but obviously you will need that Cassian Omicron most likely to make this work, unless I'm wrong, I don't know. There we go, or at minimum you need Jean for the revives, right? Alright, so that's the Cassian mission, 2 different teams that you can try out. So let's move on to now, I guess, the easiest mission as mentioned before, which is versus Mob Enforcer in both waves. These guys don't hit very hard, so whatever you've got, you know, any non-galactic legend teams here can get it done easily. Like I've tried Queen Amidala as well as Bo. I have both of them at Relic 9, but in the end I decided to keep using Bo mostly, not Queen Amidala, because I need Queen Amidala's Jedi for the Jedi team that I'll show you later. So that's why no footage of Queen Amidala here, but she can get it done easily as well. You can see no issues whatsoever. To be honest, you can just hit autoplay in this one. I realized that after a while, like, what am I doing here? I can just autoplay, and otherwise, yeah, it's just, you know, gonna take a few minutes. But as you can see, these guys don't hit very hard, no issues whatsoever, so you can pretty much just hit autoplay on this one if you ask me. Which eventually I think I realized, and I just hit autoplay, because I'm like, why am I even playing this? We got this thing under control. They don't hit very hard. Obviously with Bo, OG Bo in there, we have lots of protection and health recovery whenever we attack out of turn. You can see Whistling Birds did a whole bunch of nothing. Now, while they don't hit very hard, they are very tanky. So I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here for like, you know, 10 minutes and play this manually, or how long this battle took. Maybe not 10, maybe 5-6 minutes. Decided to hit full auto, and you can see it's not even close, to be honest. We are burning through these guys. No issues, surviving with a constant recovery there with the help of Bo's Unique. We'll just keep going. OG Bo's Unique, just to clarify, we got 2 bows in this one. And again, it's the same enemies as in wave 1. Very tanky, don't hit very hard, so no issues whatsoever here. Just full autoplay. and let the AI sort this for you. Okay, cool. Now why I chose Bow? Because right, we need her at Relic 9 for the Mandalore planet anyways, so it's a good team then to use here on Kafrene. Okay, so up next we got Ahsoka. Not sure why they used here Ahsoka, because maybe Ahsoka could clear some of the tougher missions as well, or maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, here versus Mob Enforcer, you could just probably hit autoplay. There were many playing because maybe I think they were doing this for the first time, but potentially, so I just wanted to see how it behaves. But overall, as you can see, like, you know, it's not even close. Like, if Bo can auto this, pretty sure that Ahsoka could auto this as well. So I'm just gonna speed up the footage because it's not really a whole lot to say, really, especially with Ezra in there. Yeah, Ezra is a menace, no matter what game mode he's in, right? He helps out so many teams, especially in territory battles. I'm using him outside of Ahsoka a lot with the Jedi because he allows to like auto missions on Zepho and things like that. The Cal mission with my Jedi squad. So, you know, maybe if you are using Ahsoka versus this easy mission, you could take out Ezra and use him elsewhere. But anyways, doesn't matter, I guess. We'll just keep going. But yeah, as you can see, you could easily autoplay this as well with Ahsoka. So the Mob Enforcer mission again, whatever I tried that I had at Relic 9, it worked. So this is gonna be like your leftover light side Relic 9 squad you can use here. Now let's go over to the difficult missions, which is the one versus Troopers and Mara. So we'll do the Trooper mission first. And here normally I do Jedi Master Kenobi. It's not the cleanest one, but somehow you always pull through. Not having two tanks is not ideal because when you put damage immunity on one, right, how do you know which one they will go against the enemies, that is. So maybe better have somebody in there that you just have one tank, so that you put damage immunity on them and then they're just stuck behind them. As you can see there, they put a few hits on General Kenobi, whereas if I wouldn't have a second tank in there, all hits would go on to whoever's got damage immunity. So ideally only one tank in this one. But I wanted to use the other Jedi with the Jedi for the Jedi mission. Like, I could use maybe Gas in here instead of Plo, but I just really wanted to boost my Jedi Knight Luke team with the best Jedi I had, and then kind of let Jedi Master Kenobi get the leftovers. So far so good. We hit the ultimate already. We're just gonna keep going after Death Trooper because he's like their main damage dealer. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to waste Force Sleep on him. Let's just get the Stormtrooper out, and then we're gonna finish off Death Trooper because he's on his last leg anyway. So it would be a bit of a waste to waste the Force Sleep on him. But once Stormtrooper and Death Trooper go down, you know, things go very quickly. They lose their tank and as well their damage dealer. So we're just gonna go ahead, finish this up, and you know, so far so good. Like wave 1, it's kind of okay, good progress here, but wave 2 can get dicey, as you will see, but just because they start with lots of bonus protection, so they're more durable, it takes longer to get through them, which gives them more time to increase their damage. And again, as you can see, I put damage immunity in Blow, but it hit Kenobi, again, you know, doing some damage. So definitely, ideally, if you can, just one tank. So as you can see, General Kenobi almost down. If again, I don't want to repeat myself, you just have one tank in there, then it works much better. But because I have this whole, that's what I have left when at this point when I was recording, a bit of a tougher one. But here I'm like, you know what, I will Force Sleep Death Trooper because of that bonus protection. We barely made a dent into his protection, so decided to get rid of him, and then we'll go after Imperial Officer. He's the next biggest threat, I think, in terms of the damage. I'll just keep going, hit the ult. So far so good, right? As you can see, their damage does start ramping up over time. There we go. General Kenobi down. Let's see if we can get Officer down. Not quite. Sure, Plo does nothing, right? Because in this squad, apart from taunting. Let's see, we got damage immunity coming up. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Let's go ahead and drop the damage immunity on Plo. And from here on out, we should be able to carry this. So again, Jedi Master Kenobi does well, but again, you know, if you can bring in only one tank, and always put damage immunity on them. Do not reset cooldowns on Ahsoka. You need your tank to soak up all the hits, especially at the start of the wave with damage immunity. Ahsoka will get to her Force Sleep eventually anyway, so you don't have to worry about it too much. Alright, we are down to the last two troopers. We might lose here Plow, but then we should be able to carry the rest of the battle, I think. It's just down to Stormtrooper. There we go. Okay, Force Sleep coming in. Nice big hit. Did you see that? The big hit? The ramping damage these guys have? Man. Alright, anyways. We should be good now. We can put damage immunity on Ahsoka. Yeah, that's fine. Let's go ahead. Will that do it? Not quite. One more Force Sleep. Boom! Down goes the Stormtrooper. So that's the team I usually use here for Jedi Master Kenobi. And let's move on to the final, the bottom ground mission, which is probably the most difficult one, because in second wave we don't just have generic troopers, we actually have Mara, so a little bit more challenging. So for this one I will be using Jedi Knight Luke lead, because I just find the speed reduction a lot more beneficial here than Inherited Teaching and the taunt from Jedi Master Luke, so that's why. And as you can see, I kind of cannibalized my Midala squad here by putting Padawan and Master Qui-Gon in here, but this is the only Jedi I have now left at this point, so that's what I'll be working with. So let's go ahead, hop in the battle, and yeah, the enemies otherwise are very fast. I feel like their speed is like 600 or something, I don't know, close to 600, so reducing their speed will actually allow that you can control them for the most part. There we go, and we got a Mustang out. We can just keep hitting them. Let's go ahead, hit them with an AoE. Luckily no revives in this one like in the Cassian mission right in the second wave, so once they go down for good. Okay, let's smack out an AoE. Let's call for the assist here on Luke. Start doing some damage. Let's do some of that. We'll have Heroes Arise already available to use. But let's go ahead and target somebody else, because Death Trooper, he's about to go down, so I don't want to waste really whole mass assist just on him. Let's go ahead and finish him like that. And then John Skywalker here obviously is good, reducing max health when enemies don't have protection on them. So not saying this is the most optimal team, it's just obviously what I had at Relic 9 from the Queen Amidala squad, from the raid, and then the free Jedi I had still here at Relic 9. There we go. Always make sure you finish off the wave with Heroes Arise, so then Luke starts off with a full turn meter for second wave, so he instantly reduces the speed on the enemies. Also, if you can, save up the mass assist as well, so you can immediately stun them, just to you know, not just slow them down, but disable them basically for one turn. And then as others will start first working on Death Trooper. He seems to be the biggest threat. There we go. Alright, almost out of protection. Let's go ahead, smack an AoE. Let's use Heroes Arise. Death Trooper goes down, and then we'll turn our attention over to Mara now. And once Mara is down, you know, things become a lot more manageable. Lock in the ability blocks. So I guess, you know, it's kind of, I guess, nice synergy there between Master Qui-Gon landing Tenacity down to ensuring that then ability blocks from Jedi Master Luke stick. So I guess the weakest link here would be their Padawan, Obi-Wan. He doesn't do much for this team, but, you know, at least he's a Jedi, so that's okay. Alright, and here we go, final ground mission here. We do have Omicron on Tarpals. So that's again thanks to DK Sphinx for providing this footage, and for this one they did hit just full auto, and Gungans were able to actually get through it. So I'm just spinning up the footage. Not much else to say here, to be honest. I still don't fully understand Gungans what they do. Mostly I just as well auto with the mesh buttons, and somehow you always win. There's just so much randomness in their kit, I think. But you can see, no issues whatsoever. Now they did lose the generator, but somehow they still keep going. So I guess if you would play this manually, maybe it would be cleaner, but hey, Captain Tarpals doing all the heavy lifting here with his Omicron. And finally, let's do the fleet missions as well. So we'll kick off, you know, with a preferred choice, which is Profundity. But obviously Profundity sometimes is required here in operation, so then second option will do Raddus. Just standard Profundity lineup, just hop in the battle, I think it is actually even the same enemies in Kashyyyk, isn't it? Or something like that. So they get the stacks of formations. So what I like to do first is go after Scythe. So let's call Outrider to assist. There we go. Let's go ahead and dispel those stacks of formation from Scythe, and then I will also dispel here with the basic from Falcon, formation from Tide Ones, because I think for each stack of formation they gain extra health, most annoyingly extra offense. That's why you want to dispel from Scythe and Tide Advanced, just to reduce their damage a bit. Okay, then we're gonna bring in Phantom as our first reinforcement. Let's clear off that foresight. Let's try turn our attention back over to Scythe, see if we can finish it. There we go, Scythe down, cool. Then Tide Advanced is our next on the list to be taken down. So we'll just start hitting Tide Advanced. Let's hit a special there. Of course they resist everything, why wouldn't they, right? Let's go ahead and bring in our second reinforcements, which is Ghost. So we have a full now fleet here already. Let's go ahead, try to finish off Tide Advanced. There we go, and now I can go ahead and hit autoplay at this point. Without Scythe, without Tide Advanced, we have download progress complete, hit the ultimate, and I'll just go ahead and finish this. Definitely Profundity seems, at least from my testing, very, very reliable. Now, if your Profundity is needed for operations, then you can actually start attempting Raddus, because we do need a few of us in my guilds to put their Profundity in the operations. So they ask who would like to try Raddus, and I'm like, hey, I'm making content, I'd love to just keep trying using Raddus for this one. So I did this, I think 6 times now, and I think I won twice out of 6 times. So, you know, not the biggest I guess the win rate success, but at least it gives you a fighting chance if you don't have Profundity. So we'll just start with the standard lineup here. Don't have Poe in there, better X-Wing for his Dispel and Daze and Terminator removal. Right, they're gonna get a jump start on us. Eventually we'll get a turn. Alright, so we're just gonna start off with the Mass Cleanse here, just to push Terminator to the team, gives us buffs. And then we'll do the spinning trick here, then target Scythe here if you can. There we go, land a Daze on it. And here what I'll do, I'll dispel the formation from Tide Advance again, reducing the damage. Again, the opening sequence always plays differently because AI has no consistency, so opening sequence may look different than, you know, what you see here. But again, you know, for me, 1 out of 3 win rate, but you know, at least it's something. Starforger did his job, it ate up the initial hits. I'll just go ahead, we have to keep spamming special, we're not gonna wait for comeuppance to come in here. Let's go ahead, comeuppance, first reinforcement, and then hopefully we can just blitz down Scythe now here. Almost got him. Scythe down. Alright, so that's half of the job done. The other half is getting Tide Advance down and then get to the hold maneuver. Okay, we'll just keep going. Let's get Daze there, Terminator removal. Perfect. Let's hit now Assault formations, which feeds Terminator to the team and as well resets their cooldowns, right? Because to get to hold the maneuver, we need to use our specials when we have foresight on us. Hence why we want to be able to keep using specials. Alright, there we go. We lost the X-Wing. Let's do the spinning trick. Alright, they brought in TIE Interceptor. Look, so it's fun, I guess. Let's go ahead, hit another AoE. Come on, hold on, get in here. There we go. Time to pull off hold the maneuver and then clean the board. So again, I'm not saying this is 100% reliable. Again, about 1 out of 3 win rate for me for my 6 attempts I had so far. But I'll keep using this because so I can then put my Profundity into operations. I'm just gonna go ahead here, finish this one, and the other one is just a summon. We'll just go away, and that's it. So yeah, again, Profundity is preferred choice, but if you've got nothing else, then at least, you know, there Raddus can give you a chance to win as well. Alright guys, so that's all for today's video. Hopefully you find it useful and helpful, just showing you all the missions here on Kafrene. Just, you know, maybe you're not there yet, but unless we get new territory battles, this will be here to stay. So maybe you'll get here in a year or two, and then you can always reference back to this guide just to see what to expect in terms of the enemies, modifiers, and you know what teams work well, although maybe in 2-3 years times we'll have different teams available. Anyways, thank you for watching, I'll see you in the next one, but until then have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.